champion Jacksonville Jaguars face off with Nathan Peterman and the Buffalo Bills. With that, let's get up to Buffalo. Standing by at New Era Field, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are about 15 miles south of downtown Buffalo at New Era Field in Orchard Park. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in off the extended break from the bye.
I think it was much needed as well. You play 2.5 months, you're ready for some time off to get set for the home stretch.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Now the return, Rashad Green. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
It's a pretty bland game he had last time out. Ended up throwing one interception, didn't have a touchdown to offset it, but the team found a way to win. He found a way to lean on other parts of the offense that carried them through.
On first down, Bortles dumps it off to Fournette. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it a second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
There's Leonard Fournette, 1,000-yard rusher from a year ago. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a third down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the...
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Jerry Hughes in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. After the interception, here's Peterman. Curley's got it, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On second down, it's McCoy. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down.
And that was a good run. This is only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
This give is to McCoy. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. Charles, I think sometimes maybe we take LaShawn McCoy for granted. Been in the league since 2009. He's played 12 or more games every season as a running back. 30 years old this year. What do you see for his future?
I still see a very bright future for him, and you're exactly right. We do kind of take him for granted. Remember, he was with Philadelphia. Then he goes to Buffalo. Buffalo goes through the playoff drought before last season. And the Eagles, they win a Super Bowl without him. So, yeah, we forget just how special he is. But I do think with his running style, he's got many more seasons left.
On the ground, Ivory. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays, getting into the backfield. For the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield. His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in the game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. So let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
On second down, here's Fournette. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cole. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. It's a 3-point game here early, and we're back to upstate New York after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar football as we begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Now Bortles. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Dante Moncrief, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jags are able to cash in for 6. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
Josh Lambo now for the point after. Extra point, hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. On the return, here's Marcus Murphy. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Peterman and the Bills come up now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They start on the ground with Ivory. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
The reason that counter and misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction it starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look. And now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here. But the play is actually happening over there, and that's where a running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed. And that's exactly what he did on that play.
Here's Peterman, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Peterman. And caught by Curley. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they're all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, These pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw, it's Bortles. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Bortles to the former Jet, Safarian Jenkins for the Jags' first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Defense.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's Vontae Davis, the Pro Bowler, in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now Bortles. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Lucy. 372.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Throwing his Bortles. And it's caught. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Austin Safarian Jenkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
And with Austin Safarian Jenkins flashing the form that had people excited about him when he came into the league a few seasons ago, the Jags had to make a move to sign him in the offseason. Remember, they only got 43 catches from all of their tight ends in 2017, so getting an ASJ was an absolute must in the offseason.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. Now it's Murphy. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. 2nd and 10, Peterman again. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
23 yards on the play. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
10 more there and another 1st down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now Peterman. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd and long. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back to Buffalo after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Going right side here, and that's complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Again, it's Peterman. Going to drop this off to McCoy. Complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the 1 interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the 2nd quarter. On 2nd down, here's Yeldon. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Set, move!
A give to McCoy. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Calais Campbell on the stop. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. They'll try and run for it with McCoy. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. 14 seconds, all that's left to this first half as they come up on first down. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Sunday.
Bortles to throw on second down. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. A final shot before half for Bortles. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll kick things off with a couple of blue-collar towns with blue-collar football teams. Baltimore hosting Oakland, and it's the Raiders who have the lead in that one. Seth Roberts, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Now it's Murphy. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. They'll throw on first down with Peterman. Escaping the pressure right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
And while he did a good job of sliding around in the pocket, there was nowhere to go with the football, so he had to take off and try and run. He just got back to the line of scrimmage, no gain.
They go play action with Peterman. Over the middle and caught by the tight end play. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there. And that'll bring up second down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them. And not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they got a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Quick move by was shady. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. It's a big run there by McCoy. 47 yards on the ground. And a guy that can change the game shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that...
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about.
Holding. Offense.
Ouch. Could have been a game-tying touchdown. They'll have to hold on that at least for now.
Ouch in a big way. Like ripping the Band-Aid off there. Can they let the sting subside and come back and get it done?
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
After the penalty, it's McCoy. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Peterman to throw. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well, and that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. And Hauschka's kick is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They go play action here on 1st down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues.
False start. Offense.
And that'll set them back 5. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, Peterman. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
False start. Offense.
So that'll back him up 5. A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, Peterman. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
So that'll move him up 5, make the kick a little easier.
Rarely do you get kickers that don't want some yardage closer to the post, right? It's rare, but in this case, they'll definitely take them.
Nebraska's kick is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So it's a third field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the post.
Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. Bortles leads the Jags up 1st and 10 right at the 30. They begin with a run by Fournette. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Jags first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Fournette, a first down carry. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Jerry Hughes on the stop. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, 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 and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
To throw is Bortles. And he's got Moncrief. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Bortles to the former Colt Moncrief for a Jaguar first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play his own defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
By the way, they're into the second half now in Philadelphia on the NFL scoreboard. And the Giants have scored to extend their lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now, after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. Now it's Murphy. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling him in the huddle right now.
This first running back, McCoy. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Peterman now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, it's Peterman. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Oh, no, he lost the football. But it looked like a Jaguar was able to cover this thing, and so Jacksonville will keep control.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That one complete to Yeldon. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will bump the lead up to 11. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This will be taken short. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Yeah, here come the Bills. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green.
2nd down, Peterman. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Steps away to his left. Now he's going to go deep down the left. This is caught inside. 15. And all the way down to the 12. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 41 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done. Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now it's Murphy. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out come the Bills. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it third down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bills getting set to go. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Peterman. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. On 1st down, Peterman. Lee's got it over the middle. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Here's a give to McCoy running left. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play. On 3rd down, here's McCoy. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. Now a 1st down carry here for McCoy. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs. They'll run it with McCoy. And McCoy loses the football.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now it's Peterman. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Jeremy Curley, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills get a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
On the NFL scoreboard, they've gone to the 4th in Cincinnati, and it's the Bengals who wound up winning that one. If they can hold on, the win would be number 8 for them on the campaign. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now the Bills will take another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give them even better starting position.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
319!
Throwing now is Peterman. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. He was trying to get it to Andre Holmes that time. And that'll bring up second down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And he can't hang on. He had a good shot there for his third pick of the game. Instead, it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Bortles with a knee to the ground, and that should do it. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Jaguars, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. And they'll return home next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Bills, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.